this is another thing that's kind of interesting, and we talked a little bit about it earlier. This is from the Bleacher Report. Biggest needs and biggest weaknesses for the Browns. Number one, quarterback. I don't think anybody would argue that. Wide receiver, number two, and again, I tend to agree. Left tackle or tackle in general, number three. Now, when they go to linebacker and interior defender, I don't see as huge deficiencies. I want to know, you got to tell me, is JOK going to be back? I think Diabate showed that he can play a little bit. So, and the interior defenders, I was intrigued by Mike Hall. I know he's coming back from injury now. So and you have Alex Wright, and you have some guys that you can kick inside if you need to. But quarterback, wide receiver, and left tackle, I mean, there's not much more to the foundation of an offense than those three.
Right. I mean, those are the top three guys, or top three positions, right? Yeah, you can't argue with those. I would say you still need a receiver, and you probably need a number one receiver. But what Winston's
Yeah.
playing has shown you is that those other guys aren't awful, and they can make plays for you. And Cedric Tillman probably has a future, and Jerry Jeudy has a future. And I don't know if those are who's the two, who's the three. But there's some pieces there as they rebuild this passing offense. At least you have a couple pieces, and I would say a month ago you didn't know that.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, and for instance, if you're picking, the bottom between 5 and 10, and you don't love any of the quarterbacks, go get me a wide receiver. And again, Jeudy has been good, Tillman's been good. Who do you have that? Hey, if we get the ball in this guy's hands, defenses are gonna. Neither one of those guys does a defense go, oh, you want that guy. They need that guy, and they haven't had him in a long time.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And then that would help whoever's playing quarterback, right? You support, you build up that support structure. So that's certainly a weakness. But, I mean, left tackle's a huge spot. Like, there's going to be some big decisions and some big holes for this team to fill. And, when one of those holes is quarterback, it leaves everything else in even more uncertainty. Because if you had Patrick Mahomes, left tackle doesn't matter as much.
Right?
Receiver doesn't matter as much. But we don't know who that quarterback is, or the quarterback's a rookie, or he's, a tier 2 or 3 guy. Then those positions matter even more.
Yeah, and if you doubt that, the reason that the Browns are 2 in whatever they are now is because of the quarterback play hasn't been good enough to win football games.
Oh, that's exactly right. I mean, that's the whole season, and that's part of the reason. Again, not to beat a dead horse, I wouldn't fire Kevin Stefanski. He was saddled with Deshaun Watson for the first 7 games, and they didn't have a chance to win a lot of those games because of not solely, but mostly because of Deshaun Watson. And it's hard to get past that. For me, it's hard to blame the coach on that, and it's hard to save a season when you start 1-6 or whatever they started.